They call me Dan, the Lakers DTLF. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with another video. Guys, brand new segment, man. I'm gonna use this segment to bring you guys NBA daily news, rumors, reports, all of that. Breaking news will be, Laker breaking news will be a completely different thing. But the NBA news wire, we're gonna use this here to bring you guys the latest rumors, updates, and even some trades, speculation, as well as around the league news. So hopefully you guys are having a good day. What's up? Good to see you, Reese. Good to see you, my boy. We got something to talk about today. I didn't think we have a video to make today. However, it took the internet by storm because apparently, according to Kevin O'Connor from Yahoo Sports, there are 0 untouchables on the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, the Pelicans are reportedly gagging the market for everyone on their roster. Now, I found this report very interesting because this came right on the heels of the sexual allegations that, and again, today is May 30, 2025. The sexual allegations that Zion Williamson is going through, right? He was accused of rape, unfortunately. And again, he's innocent until proven guilty, so I have no comments on that specific situation. But we all know that Zion has already been through a couple of things early in his career. Now, in this video, what I want to do is I want to talk to you guys about the Pelicans and their roster and some names that intrigue me. And at the end of this video, I did put together a couple of little trades, to kind of see what it would look like as far as the frameworks of some of these players, right? But the Pelicans roster is very intriguing. They have a lot of pieces that could fit on a contender, even though they're particularly not a contender, but they have a bunch of pieces that could fit in there, right? We're going to get right into that. He said Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. I like both of those. I have both of those in the trade package. All right. And I think there's going to be a lot of teams like the Pelicans who are going to have fire sales this year for multiple reasons. For one, if you're the Pelicans, you can't blame them for wanting to get rid of everybody. They haven't had much success in the Zion era, if you could even call it that, / Brandon Ingram era. And they're just left there to pick up the tag. So there you have it. What's up, Nate? Good to see you. Good to see you, D Prince. Good to see all you guys here today. Hopefully you guys like this new format for the NBA offseason and for the regular season. Whenever breaking news happens or anything worth reporting that's non-Laker related or Laker related, we're going to go to the NBA news wire. But yeah, as far as the Pelicans go, there's a lot of names that intrigue me on that roster. All right, let's start with role players. Grand Theft Alvarado, the point guard who's 27 years of age, very feisty, would definitely fit in with the Lakers. His salary is only about $1.9 million, almost $2 million. So Grand Theft Alvarado would be a name I'm very intrigued by. And we're going to go name by name again. We won't reveal the final trades to the end of the video. I want you guys to hit the like button if you guys are just here, just getting in here. Make sure you guys tap that like button. All right, let's see. I can't wait to see it. Solo said, what a disaster New Orleans is. How do they squander all that talent? Alvarado is a good name. Yes. To answer your question, Solo, how do they squander all that talent? I'll tell you, man, the way they squander all that talent is they were drafting what they thought was a superstar in Zion. So he was supposed to be, according to multiple reports, what LeBron was for Cleveland, a culture changer. When they drafted him, some GMs, they think they just draft a superstar and it's going to fix all their problems. It doesn't, okay? Sometimes drafting an actual superstar, if they actually would have lucked out and hit on a superstar, will bring them even more pressure because they have to build around said superstar. And if they don't, they end up getting fired, et cetera, et cetera. Well, David Griffin did a horrible job with the Pelicans. Completely different with the job that the Thunder did. The Thunder drafted well within house, traded well, and let go and detached from certain players that didn't fit well, over time. So I think that should be the blueprint for teams like the Pelicans moving forward. So I think my theory is that, everything that happened with Zion is like, I still believe that he would have been drafted to a better organization. They would have developed him better, and maybe he would have turned into a better leader. But you can't really predict things like that because we never know what could have, should have, and would have happened, right? But it sucks to see because I love Brandon Ingram. They had a lot of talent, like you already mentioned. They had Josh Hart, got rid of him. Brandon Ingram got rid of him last trade deadline. Zion, I think, is next in line. I think the Zion experiment in New Orleans is probably over. Now, what type of team would actually take a bite? That's TBD, right? But that whole Zion experiment has to be over, fam. There's no way in hell they're going to hold on to Zion for another summer, right? I think they ignored the interview. They had to have known Zion didn't want to be there. They didn't care because they probably thought his talent was insurmountable and he would eventually grow. The city would grow on him, et cetera, et cetera. All right, but let's go back to talking about the Pelicans roster because people forget that they have Bruce Brown as well, who's another good role player. Bruce Brown would definitely fit what the Lakers are doing. Or do they have Bruce Brown? Didn't they trade for him or something? I think they have Bruce Brown, right? Jordan Hawkins also like a lot if you want a sniper, but then again, it looks like Lakers wouldn't know what to do with that since we have Dalton Connect. Herb Jones. Herb Jones, 26 years of age. Perfect. Fits the Luka timeline. 6'7", two-way player. Big fan of Herb Jones. Makes about $12.9 million. That's a name to look out for. If I'm Rob Pelinka, I'm pursuing Herb Jones. Okay. Very, very nice player. According to multiple reports, there's nobody who's off the table. So Herb Jones would also be on the table. And, maybe the Lakers can package something together there to try to get a player the magnitude and the caliber of a Herb Jones. What do you guys think of Herb Jones? I really like him. And, again, I don't think it's just the Pelicans that are about to have the fire sale, but I think it's plenty of teams that are about to have this fire sale. I like Alvarado for backup point guard. Me too. He would be a perfect backup point guard. We had nothing. He'll be – miles and leaps and bounds better than Gabe Vincent for sure, right? What would it take? TBD. But Herb Jones is the first name that comes to mind as far as good role players that I really, 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 really like, right? Trey Murphy III is the next one. 24-year-old, 6'8" guy. My goodness, he's got star potential, not just role player potential, but star potential. I really like Trey Murphy III. I think the asking price on him would be a little higher for sure. But why not both? I got a package that might land us both, Trey Jones and I'm sorry, I forgot his name already. Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III. I mixed two names up together, my bad. But yeah, I mean, those are two wings, two-way players that the Lakers could use, have a lot of length, and they would be really good. What's up? Good to see you, Just B. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. I think Bruce Brown will be a free agent. I think so, too. We don't have a lot of free agent money, so anything would have to be via trade, I think, Nate. I think that's the only way to acquire the majority of talent this offseason. Luckily for us, we do have some pieces, which I will share later on this video. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Helps the channel out. Benaya says, I like Herb Jones. He's a solid defender. Very solid. And these are players that have size and would fit perfectly alongside Luka and LeBron. All right, that's what we should be looking at right now. Am I willing to pay Murphy 25+ mil? Yes, I am, because I think he'll grow into that role of a player like that. Yes, I am. I'll be glad when the season ends. I'm enjoying basketball, man. We no longer have a horse in the race, but it's still very entertaining basketball. I want the Knicks to push this to Game 7. We need a Game 7. We haven't had enough of those throughout this playoffs. We need a Game 7. So Knicks, take care of business tomorrow, hopefully. But, got a lot of work to do, man. As far as the Lakers go, this offseason is going to be crucial, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because it's teams like the Pelicans that I think we can go in there and fish out some talent and add it to what we already have, right? Strategically. We have to be smart, though. He said, I like Trey Murphy and Alvarado. Yeah, both of those pieces. I mean, they got plenty of pieces over there that could really fit what we're doing. What's up, Tamika? Good to see you, my friend. Sign and trade Reeves for Trey Murphy. You're jumping the gun there, my friend. I got you. In just a bit. Really quick, I wanted to share this with you guys, man. I wanted to share this here with you guys. Check this out, y'all. This is why I defend my fellow Laker fans. Look at this. The Dallas Mavericks have the most negative fan base in the NBA per Vegas Insider. These are comments that were left on the internet. And if you look at this list, if you pay close attention, Mavericks number 1, and we'll give them a pass because of obviously they traded Luka. I get it. Boston Celtics number 2, no surprise there. They're really the real number 1. Some of the loudmouthiest fans out there, so negative, even though they just won a championship last year. Minnesota Timberwolves number 3. That's a shocker. Memphis 4, Philly 5, New York. I'm surprised they're not a top 3 because they badmouth everybody. Shout out to the Knicks, though. Milwaukee Bucks. It's a little surprising. Small town. Okay. A small city. Cleveland Cavaliers. A little surprising as well, but hey, they were spoiled by LeBron, so I get it. Houston Rockets, Orlando Magic, Pelicans, Phoenix Suns, OKC, and then the Lakers are number 14. The Lakers are number 14, ladies and gentlemen. So we are not as negative as they make us out to be, y'all. So there you have it. All that worst fans, blah, blah, blah. No. And by the way, we should have a lot to complain for because since 2020, when we broke up that team, we never got back. So we have a lot to complain for yet. Most of us try to stay positive, for the most part, and we're very thankful for everything our franchise has given us. So we're 14th in negativity, and some of the negativity is warranted anyways, not all of it. But there you go. We're not as negative. No, we're not as negative as they make it. They made us look like we were the worst. Like, what did Patrick Beverly say? Oh, they want every role player to average 30, which is bullshit. We know that was cap. But just there you go. Dispelling the rumors. Dispelling the rumors completely. Dan, would you draft the center? Yes, I would draft the center. I'm not expecting there to be something amazing at 55, but again, we've gotten some amazing talent undrafted, so anything's possible. We will talk about it as we get closer to the draft, and I will be covering the draft both on here. After the draft, I'll do the post recap, and then during the draft, I'll be live over on Playback TV. So make sure you guys tap in if you already haven't followed over there. GOAT Central. GOAT Central is where it's at. But yeah, I thought I'd share that really quick before I get into, what's coming up next. I want to give you guys a couple more rumors that are circulating today. The Cleveland Cavaliers, okay, they are not actively looking to trade Darius Garland or Jarrett Allen. But according to multiple reports, they're open to discussing trades involving them, with only Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley considered untouchable. Their high salary and team position against the luxury tax apron could prompt the roster adjustments. Again, a lot of teams, even good teams, you guys are going to be shocked to see really talented players move and shift around because a lot of these teams aren't willing to pay, the extra luxury tax plus take the penalties in for being over that second apron. So you're going to see teams like the Celtics, the Cavs, teams that are overpaying for certain players start making trades. Like I can see Drew Holiday being traded this summer. I can see Porzingis being traded. I can see Jarrett Allen. And that's where I think the Lakers have to get involved. I can see a player like Jarrett Allen getting moved this summer, right? So there's the Cleveland Cavalier rumor for you guys. What names come to mind to you guys? I want to know. I want to have this back and forth with you guys. And, who would you guys like to see the Lakers move for? Because, again, Shams Charania reporting that this is going to be a crazy July. All right, not just free agency-wise, but trade-wise potentially. Another rumor I have here, guys, on a Newswire for you guys, and again, brand new segment, Newswire. We'll be covering throughout the summer all the rumors, all the reports. So if you're a Laker fan or any NBA team fan, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button and stay tuned because I got you covered. Got my own source, all that good stuff. But here's another update for Golden State Warrior fans, okay? I know there's a couple of my buddies that are Warrior fans. Shout out to Darius. But following their early playoff exit, the Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga are expected to explore sign and trade scenarios this offseason. Now, a return to Golden State remains possible. However, Kuminga's inconsistent role in the postseason has fueled speculation about his future. That's a bomb right there because I've always thought Kuminga was underdeveloped, and I've always thought Kuminga had a lot of talent, and he should not be stored or put away just like that, right? Some team will get their hands on him and turn him into something nice. I believe so. Where could you guys see Kuminga? Make sure you guys, whether you're watching live or if you're watching this video later, what would you guys like to see a talent like Jonathan Kuminga land? And it bothers me a lot because the only reason they're not developing him is because the three ball isn't particularly featured in his game as one of the primary skill sets. So, it really bothers me. I know what he could look like on a good team. Matter of fact, you could argue that in the last playoff series that they were in versus the Timberwolves, he was their best player, right? I see Portland. That's an interesting name. Raptors on the Lakers. Okay, Benias, he wants to get younger. I like that. Steve Kerr has had disrespected Kuminga. Yes, he did, Nate. Steve Kerr most definitely disrespected Kuminga, and that is very unfortunate. But it happens sometimes. I mean, Steve Kerr disrespected Jason Tatum. Steve Kerr disrespected Tyrese Halliburton. And look, Halliburton is one game away from the finals. So sometimes these players use these coaches' disrespect and lack of appreciation as fuel to their fire. And I think that's what Kuminga is going to do on a different team. I hate to break it to you, but this is NBA Newswire. I got some news about the Boston Celtics. Again, the buzz about the Celtics potentially trading veterans like Drew Holiday to manage their payroll, especially with Jason Tatum massive extension looming. Apparently, the Clippers and the Mavericks have shown interest in Holiday. So you hate to hear that. You hate to hear that the Clippers want to get involved because Drew Holiday is a player that I've always been a fan of. Shout out to Drew Holiday, UCLA guy. JJ definitely disrespected Vando. I agree. I would hate to see Drew Holiday on the Clippers. I really would. He's going to go from Boston to the Clippers. Yuck. That would be horrible. In that case, I'd much rather see him with the Mavericks, where I think he fits in perfectly till Kyrie returns. All right. That's just my take on that. What do you guys think? What would you guys like to see Drew Holiday at, right? Solo says Drew Holiday is over the hill. I still think he can be a very much so a commodity for somebody like the Mavericks. Heck, I would take him on the Lakers. He would fit perfectly on the backcourt next to Luka. A defensive playmaking player, that would be nice. Even though, yes, he's getting older. I get you. He wasn't featured very much because the two ball hogs in Boston, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, don't let him handle the rock. I get that as well. He's getting older for sure, but I'd still take him on the Lakers in a heartbeat, depending on the package, of course. But, I definitely look to acquire Kuminga. I'd hate to see him on the Clippers, though. He's going to go from Boston, the most hated team, to the second most hated team, the Clippers. Nah, don't want to see that. All right, moving along here on NBA Newswire. San Antonio Spurs are aggressive. All right, the Spurs apparently are being pushed by Victor Wembanyama and his development team, and they're rumored to be aggressive in the offseason, potentially targeting a superstar to complement him via trade to push for contention next season. Okay, they want a superstar. And I think it's safe to say that we all know who this superstar that they want is. We all know that is Giannis Antetokounmpo. We all know. I'd be shocked if it was Kevin Durant or somebody older or over the hill that they're talking about. But wow, okay, they're going for it. They got the number 2 overall pick. They can use that in a package with their other pick they have, and maybe a couple of young pieces. Maybe Jeremy Sohan or whatever appeals to whatever team they're trying to trade for to acquire said NBA superstar. There's some nice players in this draft besides, the number 1 overall pick. So what do you guys think about that? I want to hear about that, guys. Spurs potentially getting a superstar to pair up with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. I like how this rumor mentions Wemby, but it makes no mention of De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is also a nice player. Very nice player. All-star. Let's see. Dan, I heard that the Celtics might try to get Giannis. I hope that doesn't happen. I would be sick to my stomach to see Giannis, one of my favorite players in the league, in Boston. I can see it happening, but not really, because, again, they're trying to cut payroll, not add to it. Unless they figured out some way to cut money and land Giannis, I wouldn't put it past those damn leprechauns. They're so sneaky, but I would hate to see that happen. I really would. But back to the Spurs. Okay, San Antonio with a player like Giannis next to Wemby and a De'Aaron Fox, and God knows what else they're able to hold on to. Maybe Stephen Castle, who knows what else. It's very scary. As if the West needed another freaking Greek freak over here terrorizing the Western Conference. We don't need that. So I hope it doesn't happen, even though I do like Wemby and the Spurs have a lot of good young talent. I hope it doesn't happen. All right. Let's see. Moving along here on the NBA Newswire. We got the Philadelphia 76ers potential rebuild. Okay, now this intrigues me. All right, after a disappointing season, there's speculation that the 76ers might explore rebuilding around Tyrese Maxey, possibly even considering trading Joel Embiid. All right, though it's unlikely they'd pull the trigger, there's always a possibility. So what do you guys think of that? Joel Embiid shipped out. Does he still have any value? He's always hurt. He might get traded for pennies to the dollar. I think we'd be surprised to see what Philly's willing to do just to offload his contract at this point. I feel like Philly should have traded him last year when he still had some value. This year, I'm not sure how much value Joel Embiid has. I know what you guys are thinking. What if the Lakers traded for Joel Embiid? I don't trust his health, fam. He's good for about 30 games a year. That includes playoffs if they make it there. Personally, I just do not trust Joel Embiid's health. It bothers me that he's always hurt. It bothers me, fam. It's just like he's always freaking hurt every year. There's something happening. Now, Grimes is a name that would interest me for sure. Sports Strike, there definitely is. He said trade Embiid for Zion. That's a lateral move. Both of those players not moving the needle on either franchise. Hell no, Joel will be out of the league shortly. You know what, Solo? I agree with that. I think Joel is on his way out. I do agree with that. I think he's one injury away from retiring. And I'm not happy to say that because I was a big fan of his game, like his talent, not his flopping, but his talent when he's healthy. He's one of the more dominant face-up / back to the basket big men. You don't have too many of those. He's one of them. So it would hurt to see him retire prematurely without ever reaching his potential. I have his rookie card, game war material, man, and that's not ever going to be worth anything if he retires early. So you'd hate to see that. But yeah, Philadelphia potentially looking to rebuild around Tyrese Maxey. I think that's the right move for them. I think that is the right move for them. And I agree, Nate. He's never healthy. Never. Watch Giannis get traded to the Sixers for Joel. Well, that would be silly on their part because they should be looking for draft picks and young talent to build around. You got to remember, the best thing that a team like Milwaukee can bring back is young talent and draft picks on rookie scale contracts because they're not a free agency landing destination, especially without Giannis. Okay? Zion will eat too many cheesesteaks in Philly. Damn, bruh. Like that? All right, moving along. We got a Kevin Durant rumor today. All right, Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns. Rumors persist that Kevin Durant may seek a trade if the Suns fail to make a deep playoff run, which they already have. Okay, with teams like the Spurs, Lakers, Clippers, Heat as potential destinations, the Suns could look to recoup assets from their previous trades for Durant and Bradley Beal. That is the rumor of the day. Okay, the Suns, but we knew that. We knew already. We knew that the Suns were about to make a trade for somebody. We knew it. We knew it, fam. And Kevin Durant, if I'm the Suns, I'm also trying to start from scratch, including trading away Devin Booker while he still has some value. Well, before people find out he's a glorified Michael Redd, which I've been saying forever. All right, he can never lead a team. He's not that guy. All right, and he gets cooked defensively. Not that guy. I think they should start from scratch. And not that I care for the Suns or their fans. I don't like them. But if I was a Suns fan, hypothetically, I would want them to start from scratch. Everybody can go, except for whatever young pieces they have. That means trade Durant, trade Booker. If you can package both of them just to get them both out of there, do it. Get the maximum value in return. But there's still some teams that are silly enough that are going to give pretty good value for a player like Booker. Pretty good value for a player like KD, even though he's on his last legs. I don't think Bradley Beal is tradable at all unless you do some sort of trade where, okay, we'll give you Beal, we'll give you Booker, but you got to take Beal. Not a lot of teams that can take that kind of salary on, right? Hey, we got a super chat. Oh my God! Wow! Appreciate you, JB. Thank you so much, brother. He said, if we get Hunter and Allen, we done summer shopping. Those two guys will be phenomenal for sure. We talked about it the other video, though. It wouldn't be easy to make a trade with Cleveland, but I would love to have both of those pieces. I doubt we can have both. Maybe one, right? Maybe, just maybe one. We'll see. Kay Taylor says, Dan, after this season, playoffs, I think a lot of teams will look to young stars to build around. Well, let's be honest. It's a dawn of a new era. Dawn of a new era. And, you know, as you can see, the final four teams, they all got young, talented pieces, all of them. And, well, there's only 3 teams left because the Timberwolves got eliminated. But I'm going to make a separate video talking about who the face of the league is because we don't even know right now. It's up in the air. It could be Shea. If he wins the championship, for sure, it's going to be Shea, MVP championship. But we got to make a more extensive video talking about this stuff. It's a good topic of conversation for sure, right? But it's a dawn of a new era. It's no longer the LeBron era or the Curry era or none of that. It might be the Shea, it might be the Luka, it might be the Ant-Man, Wemby era. Those might be your top 4 moving forward. Tyrese Halliburton, you can squeeze him in there too. Even though ESPN continues to disrespect the man and not call him a superstar. Crazy. What's up, Sky? Was wondering, would you do Austin for Asar Thompson straight up? No picks, just curious about the value of both players. I would much prefer Amen Thompson for Austin Reeves. Give me Amen Thompson. Heck, I'd throw in Dalton Connect. You give me Amen. Okay. That's what I really want. Asar is nice player. And he could technically fit what the Lakers are doing. So I definitely consider it. But straight up, like, you're losing a lot of combo guard scoring with a lot of ball handling. LeBron's not getting younger. So, Asar Thompson is not a ball handler. But his brother is much better as far as a two-way player is. And he's somebody I would definitely do it straight up for. But again, we did the Austin Reeves trade video. Go check out those packages. It was the last video I did for the Lakers trade rumors. If you're interested in that, right? And I got some trade packages here for you guys tonight that actually make sense money-wise and could make sense NBA-wise, like playstyle-wise. All right. Are you guys ready, man? Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys are here, man, if you guys like the new NBA Newswire, rumors, trades, breakdowns, everything. Unless it's Laker related, then we're going to go to the breaking news video. But for any other team, man, NBA Newswire is where the coverage will be now. So make sure you guys hit that like button if you guys enjoy it. We get over 250 likes on this video, I will do another one relatively soon. All right, so stay tuned for that. But let's get into it, guys, because again, with the report that the Pelicans have no untouchables in New Orleans right now, and they're gagging interest for every single player, I went ahead and threw a couple of pieces into the trade machine to make it work. All right. So I'm going to save my most controversial one till the end. Okay. But let's start with the realistic trade. Herb Jones, who makes $12.9 million, averages about 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, shoots 49% from the field, right? He averages a 3-pointer per game in 30 minutes. Herb Jones, two-way wing, small forward, for Jared Vanderbilt, who's probably not going to get no PT next year either, and a second-round pick. 2 second-round picks, I'm sorry. 2 second-round picks and a filler, right? It could be the second-round pick or whatever this year. For Jared Vanderbilt, for Herb Jones. The only reason I like this trade is not because I don't like Jared Vanderbilt. I think Jared Vanderbilt brings more defensive value than a Herb Jones. But I think Herb Jones would fit in perfectly here on the Lakers. And he's the most realistic because I think Trey Murphy III has more value. That's what I think. I wholeheartedly believe Trey Murphy III has more value. Right? And so to me, Herb Jones is the more attainable one, and that's why that's my first trade. Let me know what you guys think. He's an upgrade. Listen, I have nothing against Vando. I love him. I got him on a T-shirt that we made on our old T-shirt company. Love Vando, the Vandalorian. He averaged 6 minutes per game in last year's playoff series, and I don't see that getting better because he was healthy. We can't even use the health as an excuse anymore, right? So I think that's a realistic trade, and I think it could happen, and I think that's something the Lakers should look to if we really want to improve this roster and add another piece that's actually going to get some PT this year. And that's also assuming that Dorian Finney-Smith looks for more money elsewhere and doesn't resign. Because DFS is also a good option, even though he didn't have a great playoffs. I still believe DFS will be a really good regular season and part-time playoff player. And what I mean by part-time is he's not always going to show up, but when he does, he'll be really good for us. Trey Murphy definitely has more value, for sure. Vando can't dribble or shoot, and it's a problem, especially under JJ Redick's schemes. It is a problem. I agree with you. So that's my first trade. Again, we want to start with the most realistic to the least realistic, right? Let's see. What's my other trade? I didn't necessarily put anybody in the trade machine for him because he's on a rookie scale contract. But if they really have everybody untradeable, I'd consider Yves Missy. All right, their big center, rookie center who averaged 9.7 rebounds and a block per game, shooting 52% from the field in 23 minutes. He was all rookie second team. All right, Yves Missy. I hope I didn't butcher his name. Really like him, athletic, big man, could be our big man of the future. I'd consider trading Dalton Connect for him. I would, because again, I'm not sure if Dalton's going to get any PT. All right. last year's rookie for last year's rookie. So I would love to have a player like that. And again, we have to think realistic, right? If they said everybody's up for grabs, we got to try it. We have to try it. Absolutely. All right, here's another one. I'm just throwing stuff off the wall for you guys. Okay, I'm throwing stuff off the wall. Okay. And this is more of a blockbuster. And I think it could help both parties. All right. Lakers received Trey Murphy III and DeJounte Murray, who's on a $24 million contract. The Pelicans received Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Austin Reeves. Now, I don't want to trade Austin Reeves. Don't get me wrong. However, reports are that he's looking for more money than we may be able to offer, and he might enter unrestricted free agency. If that's the case, then we might as well get some really utilizable players. Maybe even for Austin, they might even throw in Alvarado. They might even throw in my guy Alvarado for Sawston, right? So what do you guys think of that? We could throw some picks in there just to make it work. We could definitely throw some picks to make it work in there for sure. But I think that would be awesome. Personally, me. I think a blockbuster trade like that, where you get some real value and role players and one with star potential, and some pieces that fit here, and they get Rui and Austin. I'd hate to give up Austin. It's just a hypothetical. That's a blockbuster right there, deal of the summer, and it gives us more size, more athleticism. It makes us better defensively, and if they throw in Alvarado, it's a done deal for me on my side. Because all of a sudden now you got Luka, you got LeBron, you got Trey Murphy III, you got DeJounte Murray as a lead guard who could either come off the bench or start, and you got Alvarado to back you up. All right, now you're taking care of multiple positions. You still don't have the most important position, which is the big man, which is why I had the Missy trade before that. But you're taking care of multiple positions with one swift deal, right? So that's just something to throw into the wind. Hey, sis, what's up? How you doing? Thank you so much.
All right, Master DTLF will be excited with the super chat there. Kevin Bucket Dudes, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Crazy. What's good? How you doing? Hopefully the start of your summer is off to a good start. Much love to you, sis. Always good to see you on here. Just discussing, NBA Newswire news and the rumors that have surfaced today. So brand new segment. I want to give you guys more on the weekly as far as daily rumors and stuff. So this will be the segment, and we added this to the summer programming because it's been a little quiet on the Lakers front. But hey, we could use our imagination and chip in some ideas. But how you doing? Hopefully all is well. And like I said, you're staying cool. It's a very warm summer. It's just kicking off. But yeah, that was my fourth trade proposal. What do you guys think, guys? Sound off in the comment section. I said DeJounte Murray to the Lakers, right? Trey Murphy III and Grand Theft Alvarado for Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, and maybe a second-round pick here or there. Shouldn't take too many picks to exchange with a trade like that, simply because Austin is phenomenal. He has amazing trade potential. I think we can net both of those players I just mentioned with Austin Reeves. Before that wasn't the case, but the last year he had, even though he had a bad postseason due to the injury, I think we could pull off something like that with the Pelicans. Now, if y'all want to hear my final trade, make sure y'all hit that like button. If y'all want to hear the last trade that I have on my list, then I want to hear from you guys, right? Because we still haven't addressed the big man. But now, this is not a trade I would love to do at all. But this is a high-risk, high-reward trade. High risk, high reward, right? High risk, high reward. Remember that. That means that the risk is extremely high if it doesn't pan out, but the reward is even higher, okay? Zion Williamson to the Lakers. He's got the lowest trade value he's ever had right now as we speak. The lowest trade value. He just got accused of allegations that I don't think are going to stand, but you never know. If they do stand, then I don't want this trade to happen. But if this trade happens contingent of the allegations going away, maybe even at the next trade deadline. Zion Williamson to the Lakers averages 22 points a game, 8 rebounds when healthy, when focused, shooting 45% from the field, right? Now, he only played 34 games. Very injured. But again, this is like, if we're going to lose Austin, we might as well try something like this out. Zion Williamson for Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, right? And a second-round pick. And we might not even have to, they might throw a second-round pick our way, since we have the one player with the most potential going that way. And the most, the player with the most, you can say with his head screwed on properly. And I don't want to trade Austin. This is just, according to reports, Austin might want more than we can afford to give him. According to reports. I don't know how true that is. Only time will tell. We still don't know what LeBron's going to do with his contract. But that's just, that is doomsday scenario where you try to cash in, and you try to get star potential in return for your up-and-coming star, right? Now, Zion, you might be thinking, we don't need Zion. We got LeBron. LeBron's on his way out. He might have 1, maybe 2 years left max. Zion will be the heir apparent. Not going to be very apparent because he's no LeBron James. But when healthy, he looks great, man. And maybe playing for a legendary franchise will be the second chance he needs. I doubt it, but just throwing it out there. High risk, high reward. That's what sometimes. Remember, the late great Dr. Buss would make risky trades that would pan out most of the time, and this would fit into that category, right? This would fit right under that category. It's just interesting. Nigel. So apparently Zion has been accused of rape. Okay, if you guys didn't know. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it because, again, I don't know the details of that. I don't want to judge anybody in that case. But, yeah, new allegations for Zion. So I think his trade value is at an all-time high. Again, high risk, high reward. Yeah. It does sound interesting, though. And that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to think outside the box. I'm not thinking inside the box. If we're being honest, inside the box is Austin Reeves stays because we know what he brings to the table, and we know how good he can be and where he's going. He's trending upwards. That's inside the box. My hopes are that he stays. He plays much better in the next playoff series, and we're able to acquire a big man using other pieces that didn't get much playing time, right? Because that's ideal. You don't want to get rid of pieces that you use heavy usage rate. And he's been healthy for the most part. Unfortunately, he wasn't for the playoffs. But what you do want to do is if you have made your mind up that you're gonna get rid of a player like Austin, I would definitely take a flyer on Zion, assuming he's innocent in this case. I want no part of him if he's not innocent. But assuming he's innocent in his case, I would definitely take a flyer on him. It sucks. It sucks, man, because the potential has always been there with Zion, and it's hard to tell who's telling the truth in the era where everybody lies for money, right? But I don't want to judge anybody because I don't know the details to this case, innocent until proven guilty, but it's not looking good for Zion right now. I take a risk on Zion. I was saying that before the allegations. He's very talented, guys. That's the crazy part. If he ever stayed on the court, he'd be probably all-second NBA team. That's how good he is, right? If he stayed on the court, he'd be averaging about 24 to 25 points per game. But he's always hurt. Can't take care of his body. He's always in the news for the wrong reasons. It's a high-risk move. I'm not saying it's a low-risk move, but can you imagine Zion and Luka if they ever clicked? That would be scary for the league. Scary. Those transition fast breaks would be insane, right? Bro, we don't need two players that never stay in shape. Well, like I said, I believe that Zion needs to change his scenery. I don't know what they're doing in New Orleans, but they've never been good for anybody. All right, that's why AD was rocking the that's all, folks. What's up, CJ? Good to see you, brother. You're almost at the end of the video, but you made it, brother. It's good to see you, man. We'll be happy to acquire either Jones or Murphy. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. I actually had some trade packages there for you guys, a little bit earlier. So definitely rewind this video and check it out. And it looks like we got another power chat. Let's go.
Oh, DTLF, thanks you for the super chat.
For life. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, brother. He said, hey, Dan, respect, dope, love. How should the Lakers approach the draft, hoping Nico will work his magic and hand us the number one spot? That's not going to happen. That is definitely wishful thinking. Nico Harris will not be allowed to make any more trades moving forward, okay? If you're the president of basketball ops for that team, you have to make sure that he doesn't touch another trade. Everything has to go straight through the front office, etc. As far as what we should do for the draft, well, we got to do what we always do, man. We take over the draft and we find hidden talent, undrafted talent, and hopefully a really late draft gem because we have the 55th pick. Now, Rob has been known to buy second-round picks, early second-round picks. So maybe he likes somebody, he moves up and grabs a big man who ends up being a steal. We never know. But for now, we have the 55th pick. I'm counting more on a trade because we need to win now than the draft. So, yeah, as far as the draft goes, bro, I just don't see us doing too much outside of maybe getting a gem or a steal or a draft and stash player. I can see a 55th pick being somebody who has a lot of potential but it's not ready to be in the NBA yet. Just to stash him away. You don't have to pay him right now. And then, once the LeBron era is over, then you start bringing the young talent over, right? But for now, man, it's as far as the draft goes, I'm not expecting too much, but I will be covering it both on here and Playback TV. So stay tuned, fam. And thank you so much for the love, man. I appreciate you guys showing mad love today on this wonderful, almost end of the month, May 30th, but this wonderful Friday, man. Hopefully everybody's having a beautiful Friday, my friends. Austin Reeves got to go. Let's get a big man and a true two guard, and we're ready to go. You might get your wish. All the people that want Austin Reeves gone, from what I'm hearing from my source and rumors and reports, the Lakers might actually really consider it this offseason, depending on what's out there. They're not getting rid of Austin just to get rid of him. They'll get rid of Austin if the trade package moves us and it helps us get better on paper. That's the only way. So for anybody who does not like Austin Reeves, I hate to burst your bubble, but there's a chance he could be here for a long time. Or the right trade comes along and boom, they make the roster upgrade. So it could go either way, fam. It really could. No, you definitely check it out, bro. We got some interesting trade packages that I put together for you guys. Amari Williams for the 55th pick. There's some talent in this draft. Every draft there's talent, but it feels like the Lakers always find the gems, and that's what I'm hoping for this year. Maybe it's an undrafted player. Maybe it's a 55th pick. Maybe we trade up or we buy a pick. Who knows? But first-round picks, for sure, we're not going to end up with one of those because those are, unless you're trading for one and you're giving up some real value, those are not easily interchanged, right? Or exchanged from hand to hand. First-round picks are very much so coveted in today's modern NBA, as they should be. There's a lot of talent. Some late bloomers, some early risers, and it's always interesting to see what happens there. Guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's NBA News Wire video. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. Make sure to hit that like button. I do appreciate all the love, man, all the likes, the comments, the power chats, all that wonderful stuff. I will see you guys here. Keep my ear low to the ground. Got my source ready to go. July is scheduled to be a very busy month for your boy. A lot of content coming. So keep it locked. Turn on that post noti bell. Really quick, this video was brought to you and sponsored by none other than Underdog. All right. You guys know the promo code DTLF. Same thing with my other sponsorship, Prize Picks. All right. Tap in. My brother just won $75 yesterday. He was all excited, man. He hit me up. He didn't give me his lineup. So he gave me all his lineups today. So I will be submitting some entries over on Playback TV tomorrow for the next game. So be there early. I also got you with pregame tomorrow here on this channel. So stay tuned. All right. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one.